Hello everyone, I'm Jan Scalavaz, and together we'll be cooking Mediterranean-based good dish. We'll learn more about Mediterranean cuisine and diet. Now, today this is something special. I've grown up in Greece, and one of my favorite things to have is Tiganopsomo, which simply translates into pan-fried bread. But just to let you know, just to help you understand, it's basically just a bread dough filled up with feta, olive oil, and oregano. Very simple. Most of you, if not all of you, have got those ingredients. We're talking about like flour, water, salt, olive oil, yeast, and the recipe is in our website, janskalafats.com, or you can find the link down below in the description. Let's have a look. Alright, so here we've got those two different bowls. All of our dry ingredients are here, flour and salt. And then we've got the other bowl where we've got lukewarm or room temperature water, olive oil, vinegar, and our yeast. We have left it about 10 minutes so the yeast activates. It needs to you need to whisk it and leave it to rest a little bit. So what we're going to do, we will need the maris. And we're gonna go in 3 different phases into the dry ingredients just to have a better result. So now we're gonna fold a little bit so your flour doesn't go everywhere. As you can see, you will notice it will start becoming crumbly. That's a very good indication for now. Now make sure you scrape everything from the bowl, all the yeast, all the water. The same from the bowl, scrape everything from the sides. So now that our dough has formed, run it through the sides to absorb everything that is left. It needs to be slightly sticky. You don't need it completely dry, so it sticks a little bit to your hand. You can use my razor, but at some point you need to switch to your hand. You can wear a glove if you want. So now, that's it for now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get our other bowl. So we're gonna get a little bit of olive oil, spread it everywhere. Get your dough and put it in this bowl. You can move it a bit left and right, and that's it. Now we're gonna cover it with a dry cloth or a little piece of cling film without being too tight. So here we are. This is how it needs to look like. Not very tight because we want to expand. And we're gonna leave it until it doubles, in size. So preferably somewhere high in the kitchen where the heat goes. So basically on top of the cupboard, somewhere high because the heat will go to your ceiling. So yeah, as you can see, our dough has doubled in size, which means that's ready. We can remove the cling film. And then what we'll need is our feta, oregano, and a really dry bench. So we're gonna get a little bit of flour here and we're gonna sprinkle it on our bench. Olive oil is here as well. You don't want much. Keep a little bit on the side and keep it like that. Now we will need a scraper, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove it from our bowl. It shouldn't be a lot of sticky on the bottom. We added a lot of olive oil. Not a lot, actually. We just added olive oil. And this sourdough is very fluffy, so you need to be very gentle. Okay. So this dough, we're gonna break it apart into 4 pieces, like that. Don't get tricked. They look small, but that will be fine. And now we will need a rolling pin, or big rolling pin for the small Tiganopsomo. And that's a good idea. You gotta get gonna get a little bit of flour and rub it against our rolling pin, and then we're gonna open them up. So the shapes doesn't matter, actually. You can do whatever you want. You just don't want to go too thin. If you go too thin, it's gonna break it. So here it is, as simple as that. Now we'll get a little bit of our feta, and then we're gonna crumble it up. It's very important you crumble it up quite a little bit, because then when you fold it, you'll probably break the dough. So that's step one. Second step, we're gonna get some oregano, like that, and then a little bit of olive oil, just a drizzle, not too much. If you drop too much, just push it out. And now what you want to do, get the wet piece first there, and then fold the dry pieces, because if they're wet, they're not gonna stick together. So you go like that, like a little bun, and then you're gonna press it down with your rolling pin. Again, if it's too sticky, no problem. You put some flour on your rolling pin, and then you can roll it down. Don't press too much, because it's gonna break. You're gonna get pierced by the feta, actually. So this is your Tiganopsomo. Put a little bit of flour, like that. Also, if you dust it on flour, it will prevent it from rising. So that's number one. So here's our last one. We've got those 4 beautiful pieces. If you do the full recipe, I've only done half a recipe. If you do the full recipe, it will be more than that. And then you can select how you cut it. We're gonna see one together, we're gonna cook one, and the rest I'm gonna wrap them in cling film individually, and I'll keep them in the freezer. Whenever you want, you need to defrost from the previous day. You can defrost the same day, and then you just cook in the pan, a little bit of olive oil. Let's see it together. So this is take 2 here at Tiganopsomo. So make sure when you really roll it for the second time, when you have folded it, you don't press it too much, otherwise it will burst and it will make a whole mess in the pan, as I said. So I've prepared those bad boys here, and also a little secret is, if you're wrapping it in cling film or put it in any bag, it's good to put a little bit of oil on the bag or the cling film, otherwise it will stick on it. Because basically what happens is, as soon as you defrost it, that will keep fermenting. And then if, so yeah, it will just get sticky again. It will eat all the flour as a bread dough. So if you put an oil on the bag or the cling film, it doesn't affect it. You can also cover a little bit of flour, but high chance if you leave it for too long in the fridge. Alright, so let's have a look how they do those bad boys. Okay, so right here on the pan, we'll get some neutral oil. Use some flour on the other neutral oil. I've run out, so I'm gonna use this spray. So you're gonna put a good amount. It's rapeseed oil anyway. White rapeseed oil. Have you ever seen that before? Okay, we have got the white rapeseed oil from all the way from Asia. It's a very special variety. Before we start cooking it, make sure we've got some kitchen paper on a plate ready to get it out. So pan will be, we go pan on, medium heat, and we start wrapping the baby. So we have got our Tiganopsomo in. Now obviously if you're struggling to remove it from the bag, make sure you use a little bit of water, dip your hands into water, use a little bit of flour, and then you can remove it safely. Now we're gonna let it cook. Now obviously there's some people that like to deep fry it, but then I find it quite fatty, so I don't really like it. Now we need enough oil so we can start basting. Don't worry about the color of the so actually it's rapeseed oil. I just run out of the normal, so I'm using the spray. Yeah, so make sure you keep basting it so it doesn't dry out. That's especially when we flip it for the first time. For now, it doesn't matter, but it's good to do it. It will help you with the cooking. With the help of the spatula, you flip it, and you can see those beautiful colors. And now it's important that we start basting more regularly, so it doesn't dry out. It will be nice, moist, and crispy at the same time. But it's very, very important, as I said before. I'll say that again, because as you're wrapping it, if you burst it, here, when the feta that contains a lot of water will come into contact with the oil, will be spitting oil everywhere. And it's how it sounds gonna burn you and make a mess around, so you don't really wanna do it. And now we're gonna flip again. So basically we want a little bit of color, but we want it to cook evenly. So let it take the time. Okay, so here is your Tiganopsomo. It has got color from both sides. You can see this beautiful golden color all over evenly. So I'm gonna put it straight into cooking paper, no normal paper, otherwise it will stick on Tiganopsomo and it's not gonna be nice. So I'm gonna leave it there a bit and then turn it around. Alright, so this is how to make Tiganopsomo. I hope you liked it. Let me know down below if you have made it or if you have any experience with it. And yeah, make sure you check the recipe on our website, janscalafats.com, or it will be the link down below in the description. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day. Do you see this sexy body here with the feta inside? Mm.